Traders Weekend heute mit William G. William G. ist Chief Executive von Hamilton Investment, einem globalen Fonds, einer globalen Fondsgesellschaft, die ein mehrere Milliarden schweres Asset-Portfolio betreut. Darin sind nicht nur normale Investments drin, da ist auch Private Equity drin und Investments in lizenzierte Banken, Fintechs, Social-Media-Projekte sind darin enthalten und es sind Multi-Strategy Algorithmic Trading Funds. Er ist zudem Gründer der Himalaya Exchange, einer global digitalen Börse, die ein komplettes Ökosystem aufbaut, inklusive Blockchain, einer Payment-App, einem Stablecoin und einem Trading-Coin. Zu Mr. G muss man natürlich dazu sagen, er war Chairman von Equity Capital Markets in Greater China bei der Macquarie Bank. Das 10 Jahre lang. Er managte im größeren, in Greater China, die Kapitalmarkt- und Investmentaktivitäten. Davor war er mehrere Jahre lang im Joint Venture Geschäft tätig und Managing Director der China Merchant Securities in Hongkong. Und er gilt als einer der illustren Geschäftsleute in Hongkong, einer der erfahrensten Geschäftsleute in Hongkong. Und sein Interesse gilt natürlich der Technologie. Und vor diesem Hintergrund meine erste Frage an William G. Was macht Blockchain für ihn immer noch so spannend? William, just a quick question at the start. What makes blockchain so interesting still for you?
Well, I think obviously, the blockchain technology is, I think it's a very innovative, and one of the key applications of blockchain is cryptocurrencies. Like the Bitcoin has been in the market for 12 years, but there are still a lot of new applications and every day. So I think several years ago, when we talk about cryptocurrency, people are quite concerned, whether that it relates to the black market and things like that. But right now, if you talk to any fund managers, institutional investors, everyone is talking about blockchain. Everyone is talking about cryptocurrencies. All the big banks like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, they have set up the crypto desk. Or the even PayPal, credit card companies, they are also looking into the cryptocurrencies as well. So I think it's just the beginning of something very big coming.
Talking about cryptocurrency, we remember Jamie Dimon, who just warned to invest into cryptocurrency as he considered them to be not real money, not real, to represent not really any worth. So what is this the tipping point most of the financial communities changed their mind about cryptocurrencies?
Well, I think the traditional way of assets, right, is something that can produce cash flows, and there is stable value and stable price and things like that. But if you look at this is the traditional way of defining assets. So that's why a lot of investors, they think whether cryptocurrencies are real, whether cryptocurrencies are assets. But right now we are in a digital world, right? We're in a digital age right now. So I think the concept of defining what is assets should also change as well. So I think the important thing for cryptocurrencies actually is widely accepted, right? I mean, if you really look at like a money, like what we call about money, right? In fact, money is actually a confidence to the government, right? I mean, in the past, money is actually backed by gold, but since the scrap of the gold standard, right, money is actually not actually backed by anything. It's actually a confidence. That the government, when they issue the money, they will pay you off. So it's actually, it's not backed by anything. If you look at what happens in US, for example, and 80% of the money in existence right now is actually printed for the past 22 months. So actually, the government is printing money, right? And this is what happens. And if you look at the cryptocurrency, and what happens is actually the whole world is accepting. A lot of people, I mean, they are accepting the cryptocurrencies. So there are huge amount of confidence, and it's getting more and more people using it. Of course, there are many, advantages of using cryptocurrencies. It's quick to transfer. If you go to a bank to transfer some money from UK to US, for example, it probably takes several days, right, for the system to clear and things like that. But if a cryptocurrency, only 1 second, or less than a second, you can just transfer the money from one side to another, right? And it's also secured. And, the blockchain, as you know, cannot be hacked, and, for the time being. So I think there are many advantages. The cost is very low. If you transfer some money, you pay a lot of fees to the bank. But with cryptocurrency transfer, basically, in some systems, you don't need to pay anything, right? And so that's why there are a lot of advantages on that. The key thing is actually the verification of all the information in the network, the wide acceptance of everyone in the network. This makes the cryptocurrency valuable. This makes the chain, the blockchain itself is valuable. So this valuable is actually the essence.
You mentioned the role of governments around the world. At the beginning, they all have been very, very skeptic about cryptocurrency. Now, most of the currency areas are trying to implement an own digital asset, an own digital currency. We experienced that in Europe. We've seen it in India right now. There are some attempts just to implement a cryptocurrency, a digital currency. What do you feel about this? Because the roots of cryptocurrency has been a route of just decentralize it, just to keep it away from the government influence. So it looks like a backfire of the system.
Well, I think on the one hand, of course, like a lot of central banks said they're planning to issue the central bank digital currency, right? This is basically controlled by the government. And on the other hand, like a lot of people, they want to have decentralized currency that to be used. I think the ultimately, digital currency for digital currencies or cryptocurrencies to be widely accepted, there will be very strict regulations. And personally, I actually support regulations. It should be a regulated market, because for unregulated market, anything can happen. So that's why. Several years ago, there are a lot of dark market trades and things like that. So personally, I think the cryptocurrency market will become more and more regulated. And
but isn't that a kind of a contradiction to what the cryptocurrency originally is meant for?
Well, not really. Of course, the cryptocurrency. The Bitcoin when it first come to the market, of course, it's a huge market crash, and the whole economy there is a problem, and that's why the people are thinking to have a new currencies to actually replace existing currency. But at the end of the day, at the end of the word, basically any currency has to be used daily by everyone, right? If it's to be a real currency, Bitcoin is very special. It's the first currency, right? And you can't actually buy many things with Bitcoin. So it's not an everyday currency that can be used by everyone. So for real cryptocurrency to be used by everyone, it has to be regulated. And otherwise, because it's not just within a country. We're talking about global. Everyone has to use it. So you have to across all the different countries. So without regulations, how can you achieve this? It's just the regulations should be actually matched with the cryptocurrency. The nature of the cryptocurrency should not be the old regulations that you regulate the banks. It should be a new regulations, but doesn't mean that there's no regulations to regulate. Otherwise, anything without the regulation, and basically you can't survive, for a long time, and you can't survive across all the countries. So that's why every countries that they have all the regulators, they are thinking of how to regulate the cryptocurrencies. And I personally, I support the regulations. It's not really going backward. It's actually how to make make it forward with the right regulations rather than the old regulations.
As you are mentioning a new regulation, what criteria should the new regulation follow?
Well, for example, like I understand a lot of the countries, like they start to grant crypto exchange license, for example, to different companies, but they're still using the old traditional ways of granting the license. For example, if you're regulated in the past as a broker or as a bank, when you apply for a crypto license, it's much easier, right? And even though you don't know, you don't actually have a lot of expertise on the blockchain technology on the crypto part. I mean, I know some brokers that they are securities brokers because they are regulated in the past. So when they actually applied for a crypto license, even though they don't have any crypto experts, right? But they got the license. So this is what I meant, right? So the regulators are still using a traditional methods of assessing the company. I think the right way is actually you should really understand like the company, the expertise of blockchain. Of course on the financial field as well, because it's at the end of the day it's a fintech. It's not just the technology; it's also the financial part. So we have to combine the two parts. And I find that actually a lot of regulations, they're still using the very traditional way of doing things. And for example, there are companies that they start to do the crypto payments, right? And right now a lot of the countries, when they use the crypto to do the payments, you have to follow the traditional payment regulations, right? You have to get the payment license and things like that. And all the payment license basically still follow all the traditional rules. But the technology is totally different, right? You can't actually follow all these traditional rules. So I think there are still a lot for the government and also the participants to work together and come up with the new regulations.
Besides this, most of the enthusiasm for cryptocurrency comes from the financial markets. We've seen a very, very successful year 2021 regarding Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Most people said just that is kind of breakthrough for cryptocurrency. Do you see that as the same way, or what do you expect for the current year?
Well, I think it is certainly much more acceptance of cryptocurrencies right now, and actually one of the reasons actually people are not comfortable of the government's printing money. I mean, the amount of money printed is enormous, for the past 2 years, especially when there is a pandemic happening as well. And also even the banks right now, they are, everything is like digital, right? It's not crypto, but digital as well. So people are there are a wide acceptance of digital currency or cryptocurrencies in the market right now. So I think it's just the beginning. I mean, like 2022, I still expect that there will be another boom for the crypto markets. It's just like internet. When internet comes to the market, right? If you compare the acceptance rate of internet compared with the cryptocurrencies, actually it follows a very similar trends. So it shows that actually it's just the beginning of a very very big market.
When you differentiated right now between the crypto market and the technology part, which is much bigger than only crypto. You look on the digital markets. We've seen some turmoils on the Nasdaq right at the beginning of the year. Most people are a bit reluctant on how to invest into technology right now, and there is there are a lot of hurdles in the market. When do you see, or what do you expect? When will those hurdles, the skeptic, will be overcome?
Well, I still think of course you have to distinguish good companies to bad companies, right? But I still think technology is very important, and is new technologies are coming. Same as the even in the blockchain or crypto market, there are new companies coming, and there are new technologies are coming as well. So I'm very confident that the market will come back. I think even like in this difficult period, I would say there are still some technology companies that outperforms. They've been doing very well, and also some crypto companies have been doing very well as well. Like we see the Bitcoin price drops a lot, but there are still some coins that keep on increasing. I mean, if you look at the some of the coins, and there are some recent ones, they've been the price has been growing very well, and it's not different. It's different from what the Bitcoins are doing. One of the examples actually the Himalaya coins. Like keep on increasing. Like even the Bitcoin price drops a lot, but the price I think is all-time high right now. So there are different companies, the up and downs, but still for a good company, it will continue to prosper.
However, I think regarding the real markets, what we experience in everyday life, most people would agree technology is unstoppable. However, looking at the financial markets, there are quite a few people, and I think the group is growing, who is saying, do we have had some sort of bubble growing over the last months and probably years, as the share prices have risen in a way never seen before. So what do you say regarding the share prices of technology? Are they overvalued, or is there still some potential?
Okay, so this is an interesting question because the economy, for the past 2 years are actually very bad. It's not good, but you see a lot of the share prices still keep on very high, and I think personally I do think that there are some bubbles in some companies, and one of the reasons why the stock market still performs very well, and because of the money printed, as I mentioned, right? So it's a too much money supply in the market, and this creates bubble. And if you look at for the past 2 years, the pandemic actually hit the economy very bad, and I would expect a lot of price will go down and things like that, but it didn't happen. So personally, I do expect there will be a market crash, probably in 2022 or 2023. And because the real economy is actually
I think that we should specify a bit. You say there could be a crash this year or next year. Is it a crash or a correction, which is expected by a few people?
Well, of course, I think the market would drop. Right, I mean, you can name it a correction or a crash, but I think the correction will be quite significant in terms of the magnitude. The reason for that is actually the real economy is actually very bad, and the damage caused by pandemic is actually huge, right? But it's not reflected in the current market price. So this is a problem. So that's why if you look at a lot of the price of many stocks or the property price and things like that, basically it's still very high, and so that's why that would be, personally I would expect we'll have a significant corrections and in the market, so that it reflects the real economy. put it this way.
So as you're an investor and a very, very successful and highly appreciated investor, I have to ask you, what is your strategy to come through this model?
Well, of course, we diversified, and diversification is one of the criteria, and I think cryptocurrency is actually one of the investments, and in fact, in a lot of
that would have been my next question.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the portfolio. If you, I mean, right now, most of the investment funds, they have to have the cryptocurrency as part of their investment in their portfolio. One of the reasons, actually, the cryptocurrencies actually they have relatively no correlation to other asset classes, or a little bit a kind of a negative correlation to other asset classes. So actually, this is a very good hedge in the portfolio as well. So the other thing is actually because personally I think there will be corrections. So I would also try to keep more cash in the portfolio. So make sure that if there is a correction, that we can we have sufficient cash to do another round of investments.
If we're talking about cryptocurrency, we can't avoid one topic which is very clear and which is very heavily discussed related to cryptocurrency. That is the energy used to create, for instance, Bitcoin. You, as an investor, are very, very interested. I've read it, in green and sustainable technology. How does that fit together?
Yes, I think the market also focus a lot on environmental, friendly company as well, and I think this is a must, actually. For any companies to survive for long term. I mean, I think this is something that everyone should focus on, and of course that there are different analysis of mining and Bitcoin and things like that. And but there are some companies, they use clean energy to produce the Bitcoins, and this is another topic. But for sure, it's actually this is a major topic to be discussed. So anything to survive long, we have to focus on the energy part and the environmental friendly consideration as well. Yeah.
What do you think? Do these sustainable miners have a chance compared to the traditional miners of cryptocurrencies?
Personally, yes. I think and it's when it's sustainable miners, right? Environmental friendly miners. Actually, from their point of view, it's also save a lot of energy and save their money as well. It's not just good for the society, but good for them, because they use different the thermal energy, for example, or hydro power, things like that to produce this. It's much more efficient from even the producer's point of view.
So you still convinced of producing cryptocurrency just to in a sustainable way? I take from your words, and mostly regarding blockchain, you're very, very optimistic. So you expect a crash on the market because the financial markets don't reflect what's happening in the real world. It's a kind of mixed outlook you gave to us. However, at the end of our talk, we usually have a very, very personal outlook, as the weekend is coming, and most of us try to relax. What's the way you relax?
Well, I enjoy reading. I mean, I read a lot. My wife always complained that I got too many books, in the room, and so yeah. I mean, I enjoy reading and listening to the music. Yeah, but just one more point to add. actually, I think the market is not reflecting the price right now is not reflecting the real economy. But I'm very confident on the cryptocurrencies. Not necessarily on Bitcoin, because like 0.5% of the Bitcoin address is controlling like 85% of the Bitcoin, right? So not necessarily on Bitcoin, but in general on the technology, the blockchain technology, and also on the future of cryptocurrency, I'm very confident. So and it's not contradictory. The real economy is not doing well, but I have full confidence on the cryptocurrencies. Yeah.
So you provoke my next question. What do you read exactly? Are these books about what's happening in the markets? Some knowledge about some business intelligence on that, or do you read novels? What kind of books do you read?
Well, I read a lot of religious related books, and like Buddhism theories, and the linkage between Buddhism and science, for example, or even quantum physics. And so of course I read a lot of market intelligence books, and business review and things like that. Yeah, so I enjoy reading a lot.
Okay, so next weekend will be a reading weekend?
Yes, a great one.
So, in that kind, so I just love to thank you for this interview, and wish you a happy weekend, a happy reading, and again, a happy new lunar year to Hong Kong. Very, very much.
Thank you very
much.
Thank you
To
Thank you.
William
Thank
G.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.